Yeah, after a couple weeks, I thought there's been some really good things. I think the offense is ahead of the defense, which would probably be what you would expect uh, with new scheme on defense and a lot of new parts. So, very pleased with the quarterback production, just leading with Jackson. Uh, he's had a really good couple weeks and really good Saturday. So that's great to see. And so, still got a lot of work to do. Still have some holes in the next window to work on, especially defensively.
Coach, I guess I'll start off with the obligatory quarterback question, but what are you seeing from the guys behind Jackson, maybe pushing at him right now?
I think they're doing a really good job. I think both learning new systems that are very different from the system that they were in. Um, I think, and then Spencer's been limited from a physical standpoint. So I think anytime you have new guys like that, they'll be a little behind, and then you usually see a jump late in spring, early fall camp for them.
First scrimmage Saturday, what were you kind of wanting to see in that first one, and what did you see out of looking back on the film?
I thought I mean, it's always good and bad when one side plays well. There were too many explosive plays defensively, so it means we were making them on offense. Too many sacks with pass protection. So, again, issues on offense, but good stuff on defense. So, just a lot of work to do.
They're going to be chatting with Caden Prescorn here in a little bit. What did you like about him in the portal, and how do you think he complements what you already know you have in Michael Trigg?
I think he's a really kind of do-it-all, consistent tight end. You know, when you watched him last year, very big frame. It seems like over time here, we've kind of had more specialty tight ends. He's a bigger frame, probably, I guess, than anybody we've had. So, uh, that makes a difference in blocking at point of attack. And so we were excited to get him to add him to our group, a very proven tight end that's, NFL measurables and not necessarily like a receiver or a shorter blocker.
Lane, when we talked to you kind of before transfer season got going, you kind of said that you expected there to be a little bit more adding depth pieces, maybe not like starters, right? Now that you've got all your guys, you've seen them for a few weeks, did that kind of play out the way you thought it would?
Yeah, I think you're seeing that at linebacker. You're seeing that at offensive line, especially. So, yeah, and we're nowhere near playing a game, so we really don't have ones as much, and we rotate a lot of competition in there and stuff. But I think when it's all said and done, including guys that will be added in this next window, they're not all going to start. There'll be a number of them that are significant backups.
Along those lines, have you seen anything from these first 2 weeks that have made you sort of revise what your plans might be for the next transfer window in May?
Probably defensively, just with the new scheme, maybe some pieces that worked in different areas before that don't necessarily work the same now in this scheme that you may need to go get.
I guess you saw us here in a second ago, just kind of talking to JJ, just the defensive line as a whole with, returners like him, Jared Ivey, and just a couple of others. I mean, just what's kind of your expectation for him and just the defensive line in general to kind of take that next step?
Yeah, I think for for JJ to be really consistent, he flashed and made a lot of plays, and discussed this with him towards the end of the year, being a more consistent player all the time, and every down defensive lineman that NFL teams are watching and excited about. So he has that ability. I think that group, when healthy, has a really good chance to maybe be, for sure, one of the better groups, if not the best, on our team. Cedric, obviously, before he got hurt, was pretty dominant. So I think that made a big difference in our defensive play late in the year.
Lane, with the portal period about to open again, have you got in your mind particular pieces that you'd like to go out and get?
Yeah, I wonder one day if we're going to stop saying that with the portal period getting ready to open. Or at least just one of them. So, everybody thinks that's good because they're like, okay, well, you're going to go get pieces. Well, you know, like we've seen you lose some pieces as well. I think that a year ago, really, being the first big portal, you know, we got a lot in and not much went out early on in it. And now you're seeing a little bit of both. So it's good because you can go add, but also you got to worry about what you lose too.
Lane, if the SEC does go to the 9-game schedule with like the 3 permanent opponents, like has been talked about, have you given any thought to which 3, or I guess the balance of the 3 that you would like to see be Ole Miss's permanent opponents?
Not a whole lot. That would fall into what I don't control. They're not going to listen to me on that, so I'm sure a lot of coaches sit up here and talk about it and waste a lot of time, but they're not going to ask us. All right, guys. Thanks.